Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make these socks in crochet socks. These are very easy to make, these are not made like other socks like we usually do. You will see, very easy to make. You can make them in one color if you want, you can make them in stripes, you can make them you can use two colors, you can do them any way you like. And as I told you, these are very easy to make. Hope you try and make them. So we start by measuring from this side. To make the chain, start from measuring from this side to this side. So you measure here. For example, if from here to there it's 20 centimeters, for example. You make chains and then you measure the chains and you see that you have 20 centimeters. So repeat, you measure from here to there. Then if it's, for example, 20 centimeters from here to there, you make chains and then you measure the chains until you have 20 centimeters. Now, the chains are ready. As I told you, everyone will have the amount of chains depending on what they measured. Now, even the yarn and hook, you can use any type you want. We make another 2 chains with the chains that we made when we measured. Now, these 2 chains, we're going to skip them when we start. We skip the 2 chains. We go in the first one and we're going to make half double crochet in each chain that you have. So you're going to make half double crochet in each chain that you have. On all the chains that you have. Continue making half double crochet. Even these 2 chains, these will serve as half double crochet. Now, if you have 20 double crochet, half double crochet, make sure that you continue with 20. If you start with 20, when I tell you, you have to have the same amount as when you started, be sure that you have the same amount. So continue making half double crochet. So this row is ready. We have the last, we start the next one. We make 2 chains. We turn around and we're going to make half double crochet again on all half double crochets that we made before. So you continue making, you start with 1 chain, not 2 chains. You start with 1 chain and then you continue making half double crochet on all the others. Now we're going to start decreasing. The last one you make it here. And here you make the last one in the chains we started with. So if you have had 20, you have to be sure that you have 20. Now, we're going to start the next row. You make a chain. Now, you turn the work around. You skip the first one. We're going to decrease, sorry. So you skip the first one. You go in the second one. And you make half double crochet on all half double crochet that you have. Until the last 2. Then I will show you how you have to make the work the last 2, so you decrease on the other side too. So continue with half double crochet until the last 2. So we arrived at the last 2. We have the last 2. So you go in the first one, you start making half double crochet like we usually do. You turn the thread, you pull up a stitch and you leave them on the hook like there. Leave them on the hook. Now go in the next stitch. These you leave them on the hook. Now go in the last stitch. In the last stitch, all you have to do is pull up a stitch only. Only pull up a stitch from the last one. So you pull up a stitch and then you slip them all together. And like that, we are making another decrease there. From this side and from this side. We start the next one. We're going to decrease again. We make a chain. You skip the first one. You skip this one and you go in the other one. And you do the same. Half double crochet on all half double crochet we made before until the last 2. And then when we arrive at the last 2, I tell you what you do. So we arrived again at the last 2. We're going to do the same. Make a half double crochet. Leave the stitches on the hook, the 3 of them. Now, go in the last one. All you have to do is pull up a stitch. And then you slip them together. And we did another decrease on this side. 3 times you have to do it. You make a chain, turn around. We're going to decrease again. You skip the first one. You go on the second one and you start making half double crochet again on all stitches until you arrive at the last two. Continue until you arrive at the last two. Now, we arrived at the last two. We go here, we pull up a stitch, leave them on the hook, and we go in the last one, and we pull up a stitch. And then we slip them all together. So, those are, we start the next row, we make a chain, we turn around. Now, we're going to make half double crochet. We're not going to decrease now. This row is going to be half double crochet in all stitches that we made before, without decreasing now this row. Continue half double crochet. Those three we had to decrease. Now, half double crochet without decreasing. Now, these are ready. Now we're going to increase again. So we make a chain. We go in the first one. Now in the first one we're going to make 2 double crochet because we're going to increase. So 2 double crochet in the first one because like that we're going to increase. And then we're going to continue making in the first one, and in the last one we're going to increase. We're going to make 2 double crochet, and then we continue in the others making half double crochet. So we're going to increase by, in the first one we make 2 half double crochet, and in the last one we make another 2. So here we continue making half double crochet. Continue on all stitches making half double crochet. Continue. I'm going to continue this row because we don't have many left, so we continue making it. So I'll show you nothing special. In the last stitch you're going to make 2 half double crochet. The last stitch, we arrived in the last one here, and we make 2 half double crochet in the last one. 1 and 2. We make a chain, we turn around, and we do the same. We go in the first one, we make another 2 half double crochet, half double crochet in all the others, and then you finish with 2 half double crochet. Now, I made 2 half double crochet. Then we'll start the next one with a chain. We're going to increase again, 2 half double crochet in the first one. 3 times, 3 rows we're going to increase. So 2, we go in the next one, half double crochet in all half double crochet we made before, and you finish here with 2 half double crochet. So we made 3 rows by increasing 2 in the beginning and 2 at the end, like this, like we did the other. And you have to have stitches exactly like you started. Now we're going to make stitches we have exactly here. You have to have exactly like you started here. Exactly you have to have. Now we started with 2 rows half double crochet. Now we're going to make 2 rows half double crochet without increasing and without decreasing. Half double crochet on each half double crochet we made before. We have to make this row we're making, and you have to make another row. 2 rows, you have to make 2 rows in all. So as you can see, now we have these. We go in the last one here because we're going to change color. If you're going to change color, you have to do like this. If you're going to make it all the same color, no need to cut the thread. You continue with the same color. But I cut the yarn here because I'm going to change to yellow, to red. So I have the last stitch remaining here. I'm going to start making, so I'll show you how I change it. I go here, I make the last stitch, I pull up the stitches here, and instead of slipping them with the yarn, I slip them with the red. So I start with the red now, like that. Now, you take this part of the thread, the other yarn, and you make 2 knots here. You make 2 knots with the yellow part and the white that you cut. You make 2 knots. Now with that yarn, we're going to sew it. We sew it with the yarn we have here. these you leave them there so you can sew here. You can sew with it. I use that yarn to sew with it. Now we're going to start with the red. We're going to make a chain and we're going to make half double crochet on all half double crochets that you have. So you continue making half double crochet on all the ones that you have, and rows, we're going to make this part here, so you make rows. This part is already ready. Now we're going to make this part with the red. So you make rows depending on your foot. Depending on your foot, you have to make rows. You see how many you need, and you make depending on your foot rows here. Then I show you mine, how I made it. So you have to make half double crochet on each stitch, and rows you make depending on your foot. So as you see, I made these rows. I made 15 rows. I'm size 37 foot.
Vedete, abbiamo fatto queste righe.
So I made
15 righe. Questa è la mia taglia.
I made these rows here.
Io sto
now
per fare queste calzine
you have to do to see if you have
la taglia più grande di me, ma questa è la mia taglia. Se questi sono per me,
what you
sono
have to do is, because not everyone has the same foot. I made 15 rows here for my size, but not everyone has my size. So you put your
per
feet
misurare se voi siete
over
arrivati.
here. You put it over there, your feet.
Mettete la
And you
piede
see,
qui.
in the middle of here,
Mettete
because
la
that one
piede
has
qui.
to go up.
Perché
In the
questa
middle of
va
here,
così.
because that has to go up like that.
Qui. Mettete la piede qui.
These are not
E se
for me, that's why
vedete,
they
come
are large, but
vedete,
I'm showing you
qui
I have to
siamo
make more rows
arrivati.
because I have to make
Quando
larger.
arrivate fino
When you
a
see
qui,
that they arrive here,
da dove comincia
the beginning
qui,
of your foot, of your toes here,
quando siete arrivati
when you
qui,
arrive here, you have enough,
vi
you will see
mostrerò
that you
cosa
have enough
dovete
rows
fare.
for you.
Adesso se voi
Now, as I
avete
told
i
you, this
piedi
is
più
not mine,
grandi,
you're seeing
io
it large
uso
because this is
taglia
not mine. I have to
37
make
di
more
scarpe.
rows for it
Se
because
voi
I'm making for
avete
someone else with larger size. But
più grandi, piedi più grandi, fate
when you
più
see that it
righe.
arrives
Finché
here,
arrivate
the rows
qui.
arrive exactly here.
Finché
You will have
arrivate
enough,
a questo
you have
punto
enough
qui.
rows.
E
Then I
adesso
show
io sto
you
per cambiare il
how to
colore, per
continue
usare
making
il bianco di nuovo. Adesso
the
se
sock.
voi
So I made more rows because it's not for me. Now I'm going to change the color again. So I go in the last one. I leave the stitches there. I take the white. If you're not changing color, you continue with the same yarn. But I'm changing again to white. So, and I close it with the yarn that I'm using. I already cut the red yarn. I make a chain now. You turn the work, you take the red yarn, the white yarn here, and you make 2 knots again. You make 2 knots, and then the yarn you have, you use it to sew it. So, like we did, we're going to make, like we did here. Exactly like we did here, we're going to make. First, you're going to make 2 rows single crochet on 2 rows half double crochet on these first 2 rows half double crochet. Then you're going to make 3 rows decreasing, just like we did here. You skip 1 chain from here and here, you do them together. 3 rows you have to make decreasing, then 1 row without decreasing and without increasing, 1 row, then another 3 rows increasing. We made 3 rows increasing, and then increasing you start with 2, you finish with 2 in the last stitch, and then the last 2 rows you're going to make the last 2 rows without increasing or decreasing. The last 2 rows without increasing and decreasing. You make sure that stitches you finish the same amount as you started. If you started with 20, you're going to finish with 20. So as you can see, I made it like the other side. These are ready. This side, like this side, because this has to go like this and this has to go like this. And then I show you how to continue. The important thing that you finish with the same amount of stitches like you started here. Now, we're going to go up and we're going to make another. If we're going to work straight. If here you made 15 rows, if in the red one you made 15 rows, depending how rows you made here in the middle, if you made 15 rows, then you have to continue making 15, you have to make another 15 rows, like you did here. Here you have to continue going straight up with the same amount of stitches until you have 15 rows. For example, if you have 18, you have to make 18 rows. You continue like that. Now I'm going to show you, we're going to make this part here. Now here I made it striped. Now you can make it, if you want to make it one color, you have to make it, you make it one color, depends how you make it. So as you see, like the same, I have the same amount like I did on the other side. So if I made 15, you have to make 15 rows. If I made 18, you have to make 18, exactly like the other side that you make. We're going to make this part. So as you can see, I made it. I made some stripes in it, but I have the same amount as I have here. The same amount exactly like I have here. I made the same amount. Now, as you can see, I may use stripes. Now I'm going to show you how to continue it, how to measure it. Now I'm going to start with red. With the red, I changed the color because now I'm going to start with the red. Now we're going to measure the lower part of the leg here. You have to measure the lower part of the leg here. Measure it. So we see how much we have to make more stitches. So you have the exact, you know how much you have to measure. You have to measure here from here to here, and then I will tell you how to continue. So now I'm going to give you an example. If, for example, your lower leg is 60 centimeters, I know it's not 60 centimeters, but I'm just giving you an example, so we work on that. You have 60 centimeters leg, okay? The lower part. Now, you measure this one that you made from here to here. It's 12 centimeters. So that part is 12 centimeters. I'm doing an example, not 60, no, it's not 60. So you make 12 centimeters. So you deduct 12 from 60. You make minus 12 from 60, and you have 48 centimeters left to have 60. So these 48, you're going to divide them by 2, because we have to increase in one side and we have to increase on the other side. On both sides we have to increase. So 48 division by 2, you divide it by 2 and you have 24 centimeters. Now you make chains on both sides. You have to have 24 centimeters. This is an example, as I told you. You see how much you have. So if 24 centimeters on each side, so you make chains. First you start from this side. You make chains, and you see that when you count them, the chains, when you measure the chains, you have 24 centimeters. For example, me, I have to make 12 chains. I have to make 12 chains on one side and 12 on the other side for me, for myself. Now depends the measurement you have. So you see the measurements, you make the chains, and then you measure the chains until you have the measurements that you need. And we start on this side by making the chains, and then I show you what you have to do on the other side. So I change the color. If you're making different stripes or anything, you continue with the color that you have to make. So here I'm going to make the chains. I am going to make 2. This is for the measurement that I'm making. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. For this 13. For this measurement, I made 13. Now, if it was my measurement, that is 37. I use 37 shoes. I made 10. For me, I made 10, but for this one, I made 13. You skip the first one, you go in the next one, and you're going to make 12 half double crochet. because the first one you skipped it. So here you have to make 12 half double crochet in each half double crochet that you have. Depends how many chains you have. If you have more, you have to make more half double crochet. You skip the first one and you make half double crochet in all chains that you have here. Then you continue over here too. On these, you make half double crochet on those two. So as you can see, these are ready, the half double crochet here. I made them all. I made 12 half double crochet, depends how many you have. I made also half double crochet on these, ready. Now we're going to do this side. So the other side, for me, I made 12 half double crochet. That depends how many you made. If you made 13 half double crochet, then on the other side you have to make 13. If you made 10, you have to make 10. So we're going to make them like this. You go here in the first one here, pull up a stitch. Now you turn the thread, you pull up a stitch in the first one only. Then you turn the thread and you pull the other 3 together. Now we're going to work in here. Wait a minute so you see better. We're going to work in this stitch here. You pull up a stitch. Now you turn the thread, you pull up 1. You turn the thread, you pull up 3. Again, you turn the thread, you go here, you put the stitch here. Pull up a stitch, you turn the thread, you pull 1, you turn the thread, you put the other 3. Again, you go here, you pull up a stitch, first you skip 1, and then you slip the other 3. Again, turn the thread, pull up a stitch from there, first you slip 1, and then you slip the other 3. Again, you go, turn the thread, you go there, you pull up a stitch. First you slip 1, you turn the thread, and then you slip the others. And you continue until you have the same exact amount of half double crochet like you have the other side. So as you can see, we finished the row. Now we're going to work on all these. Now we make a chain, and we're going to make half double crochet on each half double crochet we made before. Now rows depends how high you want that part of the sock. Depends how high you want it. You make rows. That is the part of the leg where you have it on the leg. So you continue half double crochet, and as I told you, you make rows depending how high you want it. So mine is ready. I made 8 rows here. In all I made 8 rows. Now if you want it higher, you make it higher. Now I change the color again. We're going to make the ribbed part now, the last part. It's going to be the ribbed part now. So we make a chain. I changed color. If you want to remain with the same color, depends how you're making the stripes or no stripes. Now we're going to work in the back loop, front loop, like that. I'm not seeing very well right now. It's not showing that well on the red. So you put the hook, you take the first stitch, you put the hook at the back like that. You pull up a stitch and you make half double crochet. Now in the other one we're going to do the opposite. You make the hook in the front like that, and you pull up a stitch and you make half double crochet. We're going to make the other one, the back like that, the hook at the back, and you make a half double crochet. You make the hook at the front. Sorry, no, not like that, not like that. You make, because at first I get confused until I start. Now you make the hook from the front like that. You make it from the front, pull up a stitch, you make a double crochet. The hook at the back of the stitch, half double crochet. At the front, you make half double crochet. For those interested, I made a book. I wrote an ebook about crochet and knitting for those who like to learn. In the description you will find from where you can get it. It's ideal for those who want to learn crochet and knitting. This is included in the book, how you make it. And you continue like that. You make the hook in the front, one stitch, and the other stitch at the back. One at the front, one at the back. And you continue like that, the row like that, all the row like that, like I showed you. Now we're going to start the next row. We make a chain and we're going to do the same. We go in the first one from the back, pull up a stitch and slip it. Depends how the stitches are you make. If you start with the front, you make it with the front. Now this one, you have to make the hook in the front because the stitch is not showing, so the hook in the front. This one, the stitch is showing, so the hook is going to be at the back. The other one, the stitch is not showing though, so the hook is going to be in the front. This one in the back, because the stitch is showing. And the other one in the back, because the stitch is not showing. And you continue like that. The front, the hook at the back, the hook at the front of the stitch, and you continue like that, and you make rows depending how high you want it. Depending how high you want the ripped part, you make rows. Continue like that all the row, and as I told you, depending how high you want the ripped part. So here is mine, it's ready. I made this row, so it depends how you want to make it. Now we're going to sew, and I'm going we're going to start closing it, sewing it. I'm going to use the same yarn that I use this, and then I will hide them. The ones that I'm not going to use, I will hide them in my work, and then cut the yarn that remains. You hide them if you have long yarn, you hide them for a little bit, and then you cut the remaining. But I'm going to sew using the same yarn that I have here. I'm going to use it with a sewing needle, then you hide them when you finish, and you have, as I told you, remaining yarn. You hide them in the work so that no yarn remains. I'm going to start by closing this part here. So this part is ready. I closed it, as you can see, it's all closed. The first part I used white, the other part I used red. Now we're going to close. Now we're going to close here like this, and you're going to close this part here from here to here, and this part from here to here. Now this part is ready too, as you can see. Now I'm going to attach this part to this part here, the upper part. The lower part, I'm going to attach it to the upper part. You go here, you put this part of this part over here. This here, over here. This, you turn it around, you pull it inside here, so you manage to sew it better all around until you arrive here. And you're going to sew all along from here. We're going to sew all along from here, all along here to this part here. You're going to sew it. I'm going to show you again. So this is the lower part here that we close now. You take this part here, the corner part. You put it to the corner part of the upper part, like that. Better that you turn this around and you put it inside here, so you manage to sew it better. You sew all along to the other corner here, and you sew all along. Now this is ready, as you can see. This is the part over here. It's ready. I sewed it. Now we have remaining here. First you're going to sew this part to here. Here to here. First you close here and the other side. Now these are ready too. This part, now we have remaining only here. This part you have to close, and the other side. Those are the ones remaining to close. As I told you, always use this yarn to close. The others you hide them in the work and you cut the yarn that is left. Now as you can see, these are ready. I sewed them. as you can see. And these are ready. Now in the foot, they like this, they don't, but in the foot, they come really, really nice in the foot. Different from other socks. These in the foot, I will show you now after this how they come. They fit really good. If you make this the good measure for you, they fit really good. And these are the ones that I made my size, because the other was not my size. As you can see, it fits really well in the foot. It's really nice. It's not like other socks. These fit really well, really nice. It was not difficult to make. Hope that you understood what I showed you to do, and that you try to make them. Those that aren't subscribed yet to my channel, please subscribe for more videos. Thanks for now. Bye.